what does happiness from within mean to you?
Happiness from within means that you are satisfied. And by satisfied, I mean, it's not that you don't want anything else. It's that if you love what you have, you're happy with what you have, and everything else is a bonus. That's what happiness is to me.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another beautiful episode of Happiness from Within. I am beyond ecstatic. I have an incredible young woman here doing incredible things to help other entrepreneurs. I'm going to actually let her share her story. Her name is Shivani Sharma. How are you today? I actually have her here.
Hey, everybody. Awesome to be here.
Oh, great. I actually have been following Shivani for some time, actually, on Facebook. She's doing some really incredible things, and I was really touched by her story. And yeah, so I really want you guys to really pay attention, because this woman is literally on fire. I mean, she is helping so many people right now on Facebook, but her story is incredible. It literally will give you no excuses to not complain about like whatever your situation is. So Shivani, tell us a little bit about yourself, whatever you feel comfortable. Where are you originally from, if you would like to share?
Yeah, so I'm originally from India. I was born there, was there for like 5 years, and then I moved to Bahrain with my family, and then we moved to Canada eventually. And now I live in Toronto, and then some of the time in Florida, where we sort of snowbird a little bit. And yeah, it's been an incredible life, but also an incredibly difficult life, just like everybody else's, right? I grew up visually impaired, and I was sort of born premature. Like I was born in 6 months rather than in 9 months, which meant that like right as I was born, I almost died. And I'll take no credit for the fact that I survived, but everybody was like super, they threw a party in the hospital that I was born in, because they managed to survive, help a kid survive that was that small. So and then after that, what ended up happening was this like put this incredible amount of fear in my parents' mind, right? That now they have this kid that's really vulnerable and tiny, and and they discovered I had visual impairment because of that. And so my whole life was very sheltered. My family was super concerned about me, always making sure that everything that I needed was given to me, everything that I wanted to try and do was done for me. And what ended up happening there was that I was split into two different personalities. One side of my personality was like, I am going to do everything by myself. I need nobody's help. I am a completely independent human being, and I will prove to people what visually impaired people can do. And then another part of my personality was like, I can't do anything at all, and I need everybody's help for everything. And that was my personality outside of work, funnily enough. So eventually I ended up having to reconcile these two people and sort of realize that they're too extreme, both these people. And the journey of that discovery took place in my workspace, right? Because I started out as a copywriter. And the reason I became a copywriter was because the only thing I believed at the time that I was good at was writing. And I thought that was my only path. I knew nothing else. I was a poet, and I really enjoyed writing. So I started becoming a copywriter. And then I went into the corporate world and realized that I absolutely hated the corporate world. It was toxic. People, like the first day of working, somebody tried to kiss me in the corner after a meeting. And I was like, this is my first day, and it was just insane. Like the obnoxious things that happened in the advertising world right in the first year of working in the corporate world. So a couple of things happened, and then I realized that like this space is toxic, and I don't want to be in this space. I want to write, I want to help people, I want to contribute and be passionate about what I'm doing, but not in this way. So I decided to start my own advertising agency. And that was the time when I realized, oh my God, I have to do everything on my own. I can't take anybody's help. I have to show people that blind people can be successful entrepreneurs. So now here I am, 3 years into my business, struggling hard, right? Trying to get people in the door. And I had already won a bunch of awards and things like that. So I got Baskin Robbins as my first client. And then I thought, okay, great. Like, I know this, I got this, right? And then I realized, no, I don't got this, because after Baskin Robbins, it was such a big hassle to get other people in the door, right? And I just didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to get clients in the door. I didn't know how to do sales. I didn't know how to do lead generation. I didn't understand Facebook marketing. I didn't understand anything. And I didn't know who to ask for help. And I didn't even want to ask for help, because that part of my brain that was saying, you don't need help, you have to prove yourself, kept talking to me and saying, just keep doing what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. And I was stuck for 3 years. And then I finally discovered growth mindset. I finally discovered that, you know what, it's okay not to be good at something. It's okay to ask for help. And it's okay to know that you might not be good at something, but you can learn to be better at it by doing something else, right? And when I discovered that, it was the most liberating thing for me, because I had to sort of grow as a person to realize that the only way my business was going to grow if I grew, and the only way I could grow was if I got help. So I got help. I got lots of help. I learned so many things from so many amazing people. And eventually I came to a place where I realized that everybody else is struggling with the same things I'm struggling with. It's not just visually impaired people. How many of you have thought to yourself, I'm never going to be able to do this. I just don't know how. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm not going to be able to figure this out. And how many of you have thought that I'm not good enough? I'm not, no matter what I do, I fail. How many times have you failed in something and then not been able to get up again? Right. And I realized that what my gift was, the thing that I was really looking for in my life, was to really support people and really contribute into their lives. And that is how I would be able to show people that visually impaired people can actually contribute. And now that's what I'm doing. I'm basically teaching people how to get out of their own way, do the things that are right for their business by learning the skills they don't have right now, and growing in that direction. So that's basically what I'm all about. I hope that answered your very short question with a very long answer.
Wow. That was incredible. Like, wow, you really touched my heart. That's really, really, truly incredible. Wow. My next question for you is, what does happiness from within mean to you?
Happiness from within means that you are satisfied. And by satisfied, I mean, it's not that you don't want anything else. It's that if you love what you have, you're happy with what you have, and everything else is a bonus. That's what happiness is to me.
No, that's beautiful. There's no right or wrong answer. I get all kinds of beautiful answers, so that's great. So, share with us, tell us a little bit about, actually share with us a little bit about what what is your business that you're doing on Facebook?
Yeah, so I basically have two prongs of my business. One is that I help people sort of get their ducks in a row in terms of business, right? The entrepreneurial journey is usually very long and winding and very confusing, and people end up making mistakes fairly early on in the business, right? Like, so I know a lot of people who like start a business, create a website, start creating funnels and doing ads immediately. And then they realize that they just dumped a whole lot of money in a piece of their business that should have come much later, right? So I sort of help them take the right steps at the right time, really understand like who are they selling to? What are they selling? Why are they selling it? What do the people want to hear from you? Right? What do the people think? A lot of times we speak from within ourselves and stop looking at who we're really serving. So we want to make sure that who we're serving and what we're giving them is aligned with each other. Then I sort of help with like coming up with a strategy. So my main strategy that I like to use is group attraction marketing. So I like to create a group and then get people inside of that group so that you can build your authority, build community, build an audience, be authentic, be yourself, and still be able to get people to come and ask you for help rather than you chasing people, right? So I want to be able to create that environment for my audience, and I want to be able to show my clients how to do that for themselves. So that's one part. Another part is that sometimes what happens to people is they understand the system, right? They know what to do, but then they can't do it because maybe they've got mindset issues, maybe they've got a lack of time, maybe they have don't have a lot of good business habits in place. So what ends up happening is, even though you know what to do, you just don't end up doing it, and then your business stays stagnant because of that. And then you sort of say, okay, let me try this, and then let me try that, and then let me try something else. And mostly it's because you are okay with learning, you're just not okay with implementing, right? So for those kind of people, I've created this other part of my business where I will show you what to do, and then I will have my virtual assistant help you do it for you, right? And that way they become the hands and they become the people who have the consistent habits, and you are the strategy, you're the brains of that company. And then my expertise comes from like 15 years of marketing. So you can take advantage of what I have to give to my VAs and what I have to give to you as well. So I'm not expecting you to suddenly have 3 months of a crash course in marketing and then be a genius, right? I'm expecting you to be you, do your business, understand your business, and be the strategist as best as you can. And then I help you with your marketing, and my VAs help you with the implementation. So it's a well-rounded sort of a thing. And now there's really no excuse to not succeed at the end of the day.
Wow, that's incredible. Thank you for sharing that. Can you tell us some challenges that you have, I mean, just as an entrepreneur, and how you overcome those on a daily, weekly, monthly basis?
That's a very broad question. So I'm going to go each of those because monthly, daily, and weekly basis, there are different types of challenges.
Sure, sure.
So the one that happens on a monthly basis, I find, is that you really have to stay attuned with where your audience is at. You really have to listen very actively to your people, right? And you have to reevaluate. Like, I reevaluate my offer almost every month. And the reason I do that is because, for instance, one of the challenges came out of one of the solutions came out of this challenge that people were just not implementing, even though they agreed, they understood, they were happy with what I was teaching them. They were just not implementing, and that bothered me because I'm really all about the results, right? So I was like, what else can I do? What else can I do? So I had to reevaluate and had to go find a better solution than what I was offering. So really have the willingness to offer a better solution, right? Don't just stick to what you know and what you have. Allow yourself to constantly grow so that you're growing from a solution-based mindset rather than constantly trying to push what you have in front of other people, whether it works or not. So that's the kind of thing that I come across on a monthly basis. On a daily basis, it's usually about like, is the Facebook algorithm working correctly? Are you getting the kind of leads that you want? Sometimes you have to sort of realize that the ebbs and flow of leads is it happens on a daily basis, right? Like on Thanksgiving weekend, people are not interested in working. And are you aware of that? Or are you agonizing over the fact that, oh, nobody's getting in touch with me this week, and now my sales were weak for the week? So really staying on top of like those sort of things on a daily basis, and understanding that, ebbs and flows of business happen. It's just that you should have overall strategy that keeps you grounded and you don't lose yourself in that. And then on a weekly basis, I find, management and making sure that things are working from your weeks should lead up to a month being successful. And if that's not happening, that means that you're not evaluating every single week correctly. So I like to have like a journal at the end of every week where I'm like, okay, these were the challenges that came up. These are the solutions that I think will work. Let me go test them out next week and let's see what happens. So I basically keep a daily journal and a weekly journal and a monthly journal to make sure that I'm sticking to my goals. I'm sticking to my resolution for that month.
Wow, that's great. No, I love that. That's really incredible. I definitely have a lot of entrepreneurs that listen to Happiness from Within, but is there any advice that you would give to actually somebody that wants to start a business, and they're having all the fears, the doubts, and Just any advice that you have. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be logical. It can be something from your heart, just anything that comes to mind, you know?
Absolutely. Um, One of the hardest lessons that I ever learned was that your emotions are not your actions, and they should not be either, right? When you experience fear, when you experience uncertainty, when you experience doubt, they are momentary things. Your emotions can change within minutes, right? And if you are acting on your emotions rather than your rational side of your brain, what you'll end up doing is you'll end up self-sabotaging yourself 90% of the time. So you really have to, there is a place for emotion, and that's where compassion comes in. That's where understanding comes in. That's where love and authenticity and being who you are comes in. But when it comes to making decisions, they should not be based on your emotions, because you'll end up making, anything that you don't know how to do, you'll be afraid of it, right? And if you don't recognize that about yourself, if you don't recognize that the fear isn't your body telling you don't do it, the fear is the fact that you don't know it yet. So you have to lean into that fear and say, it's okay that I'm afraid. I still have to do this thing because I have to learn how to do it, right? And that's one of the hardest things, because implementation for business owners and being consistent for business owners is a very difficult thing. And most of it is to do with mindset and fear. So if you can understand that your fear does not dictate you, and that you can step out of your fear and still do something courageous just because it needs to be done, then you will move forward. Or what will happen is that you'll be introduced to something new, you'll see it, and you'll be afraid of it. So, for example, a lot of people are afraid of going live online, right? They're afraid of doing that because they're fear of being judged. They're afraid of putting themselves out there. Maybe they're afraid of how they look. And I used to feel like that too. So, in the beginning, I didn't do a live for like 3 months after I started my group, and then eventually I got sick of myself, and I'm like, okay, I just need to do this. So I went live, and I decided to be my most authentic self. And I said, look, guys, this is my first live. And the reason I've been procrastinating is because I feel like I need to do amazing makeup and look beautiful and look like a cool influencer for you guys to be able to listen to me. So I'm going to sit in my couch, and I'm going to be in my PJs, and I'm not going to comb my hair. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to go live. And I'm going to give you the best value I can possibly give you. And if you can receive it without judging me, I'm happy for you. But if you can't, you're going to miss out. And I'm okay with that, because I'm going to stand in my power, and I'm going to do what I need to do today. And the moment I did that, I was liberated from that fear forever. Right? So it really is that even if you are afraid, you have to do the things you have to do. Courage is the most important thing you need in business. If you don't have courage, you are not going to be able to move forward. That's what I have to say.
Woo! I love your heart and your soul and your beautiful energy. Wow, I'm so inspired right now. And wow, that's just so amazing. I just love how you carry yourself, and it's just amazing. I mean, you deserve all the success that you've have so far and continue to have. I just really wanted to say that, you know.
I really, really, really appreciate that so much. You don't even know. Like, it's one of those things where when you start a business, you start it for yourself, and then it becomes more than yourself, and it becomes about everybody else. And when you get good feedback like this, it means that all that hard work, all those tears, all those hard nights, all those sleepless nights, they're all worth something, because you're affecting people. So thank you so much for saying that.
Sorry, I get a little emotional. So
That's totally okay. That's
I'm
totally
crying right now. I appreciate, that's why I love doing this podcast, because I just connect with so many amazing, beautiful hearts, like yourself, just amazing entrepreneurs doing incredible things in this world, and it's just really amazing. I just have, I just have one or two more questions. I was just gonna ask you, I think I feel like one of the things and it probably goes really well with what you were sharing about the fear and stuff. What advice do you have for somebody that's listening that has a hard time trusting themselves?
Okay. So when it comes to trusting yourself, right? It's not a one time thing. You have to trust yourself over and over and over again, right? And the reality is that you need to have a decision making process. You need to be able to decide based on both facts and emotions and context and what is happening in your business, right? So have a process. I have like this journal situation I was talking about before, where if I need to make a decision, I just don't make a decision. I go through the process. I ask myself the right questions so that I can get to the right answers, right? Because sometimes your brain, what it does is it'll go through multiple thoughts at the same time, and you only grasp the last one. So you don't even know how you got to a decision when you get to it. And that's when you experience lack of clarity. So my best way of coming up with to trust yourself, what you need to do is listen to yourself better. So write down your question and then write down your answer. And then think about the rationale you went through to come up with that answer and write that down as well. And then evaluate, does this make sense? And you want to ask yourself, am I making this decision based on rationals, or am I making up excuses because I don't want to do the thing, right? When you find yourself making excuses because you don't know better, that's when you have to decide, okay, now I need clarity. I don't need to make a decision now. I need clarity first, then I will make this decision. Right? So write down your thoughts. They come out better when you write them down. It's just it is, if you want to make a decision, write it down and evaluate it from that point of view. That's why journaling is so powerful, because when we write things down, you start discovering things about yourself you didn't know. So that's my thing. If you don't trust yourself, write.
Woo! Wow, 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 wow. That was incredible. Wow. I honestly never heard anybody say it like that. That was so powerful. Thank you for that. I'm literally getting chills right now. This is amazing. Wow. So my last question to you is, how do you want to be remembered when you take your last breath?
I want to be remembered as someone who lived their life to the fullest, made an impact in people's lives, um, loved their husband to the last breath, because that's going to happen, and had an adventure every single day, and managed to come out the other side a better person.
Wow. That's really beautiful. So I want to just give the floor to you if there's anything in your heart or any last minute words you'd like to share, or if not, that's fine too. But yeah, I'll give the floor to you again one last time.
All right. So to all of you out there who are afraid of making decisions, afraid of themselves, afraid of the world, I'm just going to tell you that the world isn't as scary as you think it is. And the path isn't as hard as you believe. Start walking, start finding your way, ask for help, get the help, and don't just ask for help once. Ask 100 different times. Ask as many times as you need. And remember that investing in your own growth is the most important thing you can do for your business. If you cannot invest into your own growth, what will end up happening is that your business will only grow as much as you do. And if you're not growing, then neither is your business, right? So be the kind of people that know that the growth mindset is all that matters. Learn something new absolutely every single day. Every single day of your life, learn something new. Put 5 minutes in place to learn something new. It doesn't take that much time, right? If we jump on Instagram and follow the right people, we'll get five dopamine hits every day if we want, right? Of new knowledge. But then implement those things too. Don't just keep saving good advice and then never using it. I have a thing in my life where every day I learn something new for half an hour, And then I spend the next half hour implementing it, right? So that is an incredibly important thing. And you will notice every single successful CEO in the world reads. They read constantly. They have books and books and books. All the people that are making millions of dollars in this world, they did not do it without learning. So read and learn and spend yourself time developing yourself. If you develop yourself, you will not be afraid of anything else in this world.
Wow, that was incredible, incredible, incredible. Can you the links are going to be below, but can you share where people can find you?
Yes, so you can find me in my Facebook group, which is a referral circle. So if you join, you'll be able to be referred by other clients of mine as well. So that's an easy way of getting clients in the door. If you want to work with me, you can message me directly and we can jump on a call and talk about it. And I'll send you the link to my profile as well. And yeah, so the two ways of working with me is you can get my coaching. So you can work with me for 3 months or more, where I mentor you on whatever challenge you're facing in your business right now. And especially if it's to do with marketing. And then the other way is for you to work with me and my VAs, where we get you the leads and you close them. So whichever way you're interested in, or if you're interested in both of them, we can just get on a call and talk about what's right for you right now. So let me know. And I'm always here on Facebook. My name is Shivani Sharma Del Porto on Facebook.
Beautiful. Shivani, I really want to thank you from my heart to yours. Thank you so much for being a guest here on Happiness from Within, helping to share your story to uplift the vibration of this planet. You truly are a very special person. And it's been an honor to have you here on the show. And I just wish you a wonderful, fabulous day.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I wish you all the best too. You're doing an amazing job with this podcast, and happiness from within is such an important topic. So I'm really glad you're doing this.